Hey guys, back out from a pat here. Spring has sprung. Welcome to today's spring gardening episode. I'm going to be talking today about various seeds that I'm going to be starting in the month of February and March. And we're also going to be talking about some transplants that I'm going to be doing throughout the garden. Last year, I started several fruit from seed and they are ready to go into the ground now. So the weather is perfect. And I know, guys, yes, it's in February. And I know some of you guys are still knee deep. But here in Central Florida, Zone 9B, it's the perfect time to start putting seeds in. Even if you're not ready to put your seeds in, guys, everything that applies in this video, you can probably do it next month or the month after. So guys, let's get started spring gardening. All right, so first, let's talk about some of the seeds that I'm starting. So I'm going to be, well, first of all, guys, the most important seed, one of the most important seeds things that I grew last year was my okra, my Clemson spineless okra. And guys, I have to tell you, those were like some of the best, I think the best okra I've ever had in my life. I actually said okra was my number one fruit. And yes, guys, it's a fruit because okras have seeds. So it's actually a fruit, not a vegetable. So I allowed some of my okras to dry on my bushes last year. And literally all you need is one pod because one pod, guys, has so many seeds. Let's get some of these seeds out. Look at these seeds. They're still nice and plump. So these are seeds that a pot that I saved from last year. And what I'm going to do is soak some of these seeds. So the first like 6 or so items that I'm going to go over, I'm actually going to soak all these seeds overnight before I start planting them. Then what I'll do, if you only want to see, how to grow okra seeds or pigeon peas or whatever, what I'm going to do is break this up into several videos and show you how I actually plant these seeds. So number one seed, guys, that I'm going to be planting is my Clemson spineless okra. I plan on planting this throughout the garden, not just in the beds. Well, yeah, last year I had them all in one bed. I'm going to plant them because, they grow up into a nice big bush. They have beautiful flowers that they are actually, I think, in the same family as hibiscus. So it looks like a beautiful hibiscus flower. I'm going to plant this along my fence as well as in my bed. So you cannot have too much okra. Believe it or not, guys. 2 weeks ago, I ate the last of my okra. Oh my goodness, guys. I think I harvested those in April of last year. I had them frozen and they tasted like I just picked them yesterday. They were so good. So I'm going to double my Clemson spineless plants. Next up, I'm going to be planting some pigeon peas throughout the garden. Pigeon peas in Jamaica, we call it gungo peas. This is used in our rice and peas. Jamaicans, we like to eat our rice and peas. Spanish culture calls it gandules. They have their gandules that they eat with their rice also. But this is also really good in the garden as a nitrogen fixer. So I have here some speckled pigeon peas. They're not the normal green ones. These ones have kind of like a speckled color on the shell, and also the peas are a bit of a speckled color. Last year I had purple gungo peas or purple pigeon peas as well as the green, and I just got these speckled ones. So I'm gonna have the speckled one that I'm gonna grow. So guys, all my seeds, including the okra, my pigeon peas, and the other ones I'm about to go over, every one of these seeds, I'm going to soak them overnight because soaking kind of helps to soften the cuticle of the seed so it's easier to grow. The next thing that I'm going to grow is, this is my first time growing crimson sweet watermelons. Last year I grew sugar baby watermelons, and actually it grew itself because it popped up from some seeds that I spit out the year before. But from that one that I spit out, I got like 6 sugar babies. But I heard that crimson sweet is super sweet. It's bigger, and it actually grows here in Central Florida. So I'm looking forward to trying crimson sweet watermelon for the first time. Next, I'm going to be eating some beets. I planted some beets back in October. Some of them came up, but I think the cold hit them back. I'm not sure what happened. They didn't really do well. So I'm going to go ahead and plant some more beets, and I'm also going to soak these seeds. Next up, guys, I skipped this last year. I grew corn for the first time, the first year that I moved in. Didn't grow any last year. However, I am ready to get some more corn in the ground. So I am trying peaches and cream hybrid. If you guys have ever tried peaches and cream, please let me know how this is. I'm not sure if I'm going to add additional corns. I know the first year I bought it, the corn bugs really did a number on it. And it was my first time, so I wasn't even sure how to treat the bugs. But believe me, guys, I am ready for those suckers this year. We're going to grow some sweet corn and, video to come on that. Next up, we are going to be planting some cucumbers. So these are the Market More cucumbers. I actually started some Market More seeds a few weeks back and nothing came up, but then I realized the seeds were very old. So all these seeds that I have here are seeds that I just bought last week. It's a good idea to look at the sell by date. This one says sell by December of 25. So this is well in line since right now we're just in February. One thing I've noticed, guys, and I know there are several of you, you probably buy like 100 packs of seeds at a time. I don't have a very, very big garden. Yes, I have a half an acre, but I only have like 4 beds that I grow my food in. So I try not to buy an overly abundant amount of food because my beds can just fit so much. So that's why these are literally the only 4 packets I bought for this year. Everything else is basically seeds that I saved from previous years. So those are the 4 that I bought. And then what I'm going to also grow, I saved some Jamaican pumpkin seeds. And guys, this is calabaza or the Caribbean pumpkin. Really, really good pumpkin. This is actually from year before last. These are the pumpkin seeds. So I'm going to soak these also and plant them. And I want to give you a good tip, guys, and maybe I'll do a little demo after. You can know if your seeds are still viable for most of these seeds by dropping them in water. If they sink to the bottom, they're still viable. If they stay on top, they're no good. So we're going to do a test. Maybe we'll do the test at the end of this video so you can see how I determine which ones are good and which ones aren't. Also planting some Seminole pumpkin seeds. They look identical to the Jamaican pumpkin seeds. Very similar in taste, but guys, I do love my Jamaican pumpkin. I found that the Jamaican pumpkin is a lot thicker. At least the ones that I grew were a lot thicker in flesh and they grow bigger, so you get more pumpkin out of it. So that's it for the seeds that I'm starting. I'm also going to be doing some transplants, and let me take you outside so you can see what I'm doing there. All right, so the first transplant that I'm going to be doing is some pepper transplants. So these are all the peppers that I started in that. These are all the peppers that I started a few weeks ago when you guys saw me grow in that new grow box that I was given. So the first one I'm transplanting is Bahama gold pepper. So I have a couple seedlings here. I had tried to grow this before in the fall, but I think all my veggies kind of overtook them. So this kind of got choked out. So this one might still come back up from last year, but I have some new seeds that I started. So I'm going to be planting a Bahama goat. Then guys, I am super, super, super excited about this plant. This is my pimento pepper that I have been wanting for like literally over a year. So I got the seeds online, pimento pepper. It's from Peppers Anyhow that I got this on Etsy. So I planted the seeds and I have a couple pimento peppers coming up. 2 pimento peppers coming up. So I'm really looking forward to planting the pimento pepper. I have one for a friend and one that I'm going to keep. So really looking forward to planting the pimento pepper. From what I understand, it has an incredible taste. Probably even some people say it's even better than Scotch bonnet in the flavor. However, it's not hot. So I plan on making more of my different pepper sauces. So I'd love to add pimento pepper, especially since I'm going to also start making like jerk seasonings from scratch instead of buying it. This I heard is amazing in jerk seasoning. So pimento pepper. And of course, guys, hello, I can't be a good Jamaican without my Scotch bonnet. So I have some Scotch bonnet seedlings coming up. So I plan on transplanting those. Also, I plan on adding a lot more herbs. Guys, we cannot get enough of thyme. This is regular English thyme. For some reason, every time I grow the thyme, it always dies back. So these I got from Mango Belly. They're $5 each. So for this size, it's definitely worth just purchasing it. So I have thyme here. I have this is a special hot and spicy. I've never seen this before. It's a hot and spicy oregano. As a matter of fact, let's taste a leaf and see what it's like. Try one of these little leaves. Mm, tastes a little bit of spice. Yeah, definitely has a very nice flavor. So that's hot and spicy oregano. And then this is African basil. So these three are herbs that I just bought to put in the garden. Then for plants that oh, and also guys, so this is all my little transplant beds. So over here, I have, these are all bell peppers, and these are all from bell peppers that I ate, and I just planted the seeds. I'm not even sure what colors they are. Could be yellow or red, or both, not sure. But planted some bell pepper seeds, and they have all come up. So these I'm gonna also be transplanting. And the reason I'm trying to do the transplanting now, guys, I'm gonna be traveling for a while, so I don't want all these drying out. So I'm gonna just put them directly in the ground. Then back here, moving on to the fruit trees. This is a red coat hog plum. And yes, yes, guys, don't lecture me. I know I have a whole bunch already in the garden, but this one is from my friend Marcia. I don't know if you remember if you saw that video of the massive hog plum tree where half of the tree was yellow, half was red. This hog plum is the best hog plum I've had in my life. So she brought a stick to me about a month ago. It's still green. I scraped it here. It's still green. It actually had blossom, but the blossoms fell off. But this needs to go in the ground. This is two of the red coat plums. This one here actually started drying up, but it's still green at the bottom. So I'm gonna stick those in the ground. And then here I have some yellow coat plums that are actually blossoming. You can see it's actually blossoming, but I'm not gonna put those in the ground. I have to figure out what I'm gonna do with those. Then over here, this is a June plum. Two June plums that I grew from seed. One of them I already gave away. But this is ready for the ground. So I'm gonna transplant that. And then let me show you what else. I have like a naseberry here, but I already have two in the garden, so I'm not gonna do that. Then I have all those akis. But let me show you what else I'm gonna transplant, and I'm so excited. All right, let's go through here so I can show you what else I'm gonna transplant. What else I'm gonna transplant? Guys, look at this. Look at this beauty, guys. This is a loquat. I grew this from seed just last year, like last summer actually. Went to visit the nursery, the Brevard Discovery Garden. I went to visit the Brevard Discovery Garden, and they had a loquat tree that was loaded with loquats, and they were so delicious. Each loquat had like 4 or 5 seeds. So I ate some and I planted some seeds. This one is huge, so this one is going to go in the ground. Then I have several other seedlings that I'm just going to leave here in this spot. Seems to really like the spot, but this, I have the perfect spot for it in the front garden. So that's going to go straight into the garden. For transplanting, I also have a couple plants here that a friend gave me. My friend Diane gave me these. So she brought me a grapevine, a purple grapevine, and looks, yeah, it's still green. So it's a purple grapevine. It looks dead like this, but that's because it's just the beginning of spring. So I'm gonna trim this up and plant this in the ground. Let's see. Oh yeah, so it's beginning to push some leaves now. So a purple grapevine. I think I had planted another grapevine, a muscadine grape, last year. Grew a little bit but didn't do much. So I think I'm gonna put it on the same trellis as my muscadine grape. And then I've always wanted a tea plant. And yes, I know that 90% of what I grow in my garden, I can just use the leaves as tea. But this is an actual tea plant. So when you go to the store and you buy your tea, this is just a regular tea leaves. So I'm not sure if it's black tea, green tea, But this is a tea plant, so looking forward to growing the tea. I guess I should research to see what kind of tea it is, and then I'll put the name on the screen. All right. Wow. These are the um these are some of the red coat cuttings that I grew last year, that I cut last year and I grew. And look at this, guys. They're actually beginning to flower in the pot. Oh wow, look. All of them are actually flowering. Let me see, try and get closer. Quick detour, quick detour. Guys, look at that. Oh my gosh. Wait, let me zoom in. Guys, look at that. My red coat plums are blossoming right there in those little pots that I have them in. Wow. Awesome, awesome. All right, so let's talk about succession planting now. Of course, succession planting is always important. Succession planting is when, you might have things in the garden that are growing and doing well, but you start some additional seeds so that once the crop is over, you'll still have more coming up. So, a couple of things that I have to think about. Yes, my cabbages may look great, my mustard greens, my bok choys are looking amazing now, but will they look good or will they do well in the spring or particular in the summer? So, the few things that I'm thinking of succession planting, I want to succession plant some carrots. So I haven't harvested my carrots yet. They're still doing well. It's almost getting too warm for carrots here in Central Florida. Like today is a beautiful day, but it's getting hot already. So let me know, guys, what do you think? It's already getting warm. I do watch Farming on the Rocks, and she's in Jamaica and she grows carrots and cabbages all year round. So I guess I shouldn't be worried about the upcoming heat. So the carrots are one thing I want to succession plant. I'm also thinking of definitely won't succession plant anymore mustard greens, guys, because look at this. My gosh, guys, I cannot eat enough mustard greens. I have sold mustard greens, I've given some away, and it's just so much. So I won't be doing mustard greens. However, I do really, really enjoy my bok choy. So I think I'm gonna be doing bok choy. I've allowed them to go to seed and I have to come back and then harvest these seeds. Also, I'll probably do some more tomatoes. The tomatoes are loaded right now. All the tomato plants are pretty much loaded. They're just beginning to blush. Um, these on this side, these were all done from transplant. On this side, these were grown from seed. So, let me know. I'm not sure if I should do any more tomatoes or just let those. I probably won't do any more tomatoes, but I will try some more bok choy. They have all gone to seed. I've allowed them to go to seed on purpose because I do like that the pollinators come in. The pollinators come in and they pollinate everything else that's growing, especially since I'll have the cucumbers and the tomatoes going. And plus, guys, I eat bok choy all year round. So I think I may be succession planting some more bok choy. But apart from that, guys, the only other two things I'll be succession planting, and let me show you real quick. I'm going to be planting some cassava. So let me just walk over to the cassava and show you. So last year, if you guys remember, I harvested some cassava that was right beside my shed, or right beside my storage shed. And guys, I harvested over 45 pounds of cassava from one stick. And if you look over here, guys, I have cassava growing back there, back there. These are all cassava sticks. Cassava, cassava, cassava. Let me back up and show you. They said cassava grows to up to 10 feet, guys. That's a 6-foot fence. My cassava is probably 20 feet, right? So I can't imagine if I got 45 pounds from one stick, I can't imagine how much cassava is here. I would say I probably have 200 pounds of cassava. However, yes, that's a lot, but I literally just gave away my last bag of cassava. The wonderful thing about cassava, it freezes really well, and you can freeze it raw. You can turn it into flour, which I did that last year. There's a video out there showing how I harvested cassava, grinded it up and turned it into flour, but just freezing it and using it as I need. Um, I think I'm gonna harvest most of this, but I'm gonna put new cassava sticks all the way down, so I can have more cassava to harvest. Some of this cassava has been in the ground as long as 2 years, so well overdue, and they're probably massive. But you know, it's all good. That's a good thing about cassava. You leave it in the ground until you're ready to eat. But oh, and then the final thing I'm gonna harvest is that I'm gonna be planting is no, yes, the June plums. For you guys who didn't know what June plum is, when I said I'm planting a June plum tree, this is my delicious June plum, guys. Loaded, loaded fruit all year round. It's a Jamaican fruit, a little bit tangy when it's green. I like it green or ripe. Some people make it wait until it's ripe. You can make juice with it, or you can just eat it like this. I like to just eat it like that, but I do make juice also since there's an excess amount. Anyway, the last thing I'm gonna be succession planting is I just harvested some Irish potatoes from this little bed, and guys, you can see that tiny bed gave me quite a bit of Irish potatoes. I think close to 8 pounds. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stick some more potatoes in here. Yes, I know it's a little bit late for potato. It's a little bit late for potatoes, but it's all good. Gonna stick some potatoes in here so I can have more Irish potatoes. Those were so good. The red ones really, for the first time, outbeat the purple ones for the very first time. So I'm gonna stick both red and purple back in there. All right, guys, that is it for the video. That is it for the video. Gotta keep you guys on top of things, letting you know what's coming. Anyway, be sure to hit like, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you can see my daily videos when I'm gonna be planting these. I'm gonna try and get them in before I leave, but what I may do is just, you know, get a lot done in a day and then post them every few days. So be sure to hit that notification bell so you don't miss anything. Till next time, bye now. Ooh, look at this.